So what's happening this evening? We are going to talk about what are national fellowships. If you're not familiar with what national fellowships are, I will introduce you to that concept so that you know a little bit more about where we're coming from here. And then after we have that basis established, I'm going to connect you to people who can help you engage in the application process for national fellowships. This includes other members of the National Fellowships team, and it also includes our fellowship peer mentors and ambassadors. Then the bulk of this evening's presentation is going to cover a broad overview of the summer opportunities that are available to you. There are a lot of things that I'm going to talk about tonight. We're going to focus on kind of breadth over depth. So I'm going to be mentioning a lot of different opportunities, but not going into all of the fine details about these programs. The hope tonight is that you will see a lot of options that you're excited about. It's kind of a buffet of fellowships, so you can fill your plate with whatever you're excited about, and then bring that to either the fellowship peer mentors to have a chat with them, or to the National Fellowships team in an appointment to talk with us and get some ideas going about what you might want to apply for. So really excited to cover all of those. And then after we present all of the options here, or most of the options, we'll reflect on what makes a strong application for national fellowships, because these are opportunities you have to apply for. So far, is everybody able to see my screen, see me? Everything's good to go with the slideshow? Yes? Cool. I'm always very skeptical of technology. Yes, I have a quick question. Yes, go ahead and ask your question. Or was that just yes, you can see the presentation. Awesome. Cool. Love it. All right. Great. So what are fellowships? Our tagline that we've been using for a while here is get free money to do cool things, free money for cool things. So what does that mean exactly? It almost sounds too much to be true, too good to be true. And I usually have to say, no, this is not a scam. The national fellowships, let's break it down a little bit. So national meaning nationally competitive, and fellowships are awards and opportunities. So what does this mean? So nationally competitive means that students from all over the U.S. can apply for these awards. These awards and the funding behind them are not coordinated by the University of South Carolina. These come from external sources such as foundations, organizations, even parts of the government like the State Department or the Department of Defense. They have money that they want students to apply for a broad range of opportunities. When you hear the phrase competitive, I don't want you to be deterred by that, because competitive is really all about fit. There is no one person who is a perfect applicant for every single fellowship that's offered. You can see there's over 250 of these. And it really, being competitive means that you have discovered an opportunity that really aligns with your interests and your goals and the things that you're passionate about. And we can help you figure out what those things are. But there's over 250 of these opportunities. We're going to cover a slice of those today, but we really encourage you to keep exploring and to ask us more about these opportunities. And what are these opportunities? What could they be? So these are sources of funding that can lead to all kinds of different experiences. Some of them can pay for your college tuition. Others can lead to international experiences, research opportunities, internships and summer programs. The summer things are what we're going to talk about today, domestic and abroad, and even more. So lots and lots of different opportunities here. An important distinction to make is that the National Fellowships team, we do not personally have the money. We just know where the money is, and we can direct you toward that money. If you are, and help you apply for it. If you are concerned at all about USC funding, that is not something that we work with, and we encourage you to talk to USC Financial Aid, and those are the folks that can help you. But again, this is not USC's money. So besides me, who are some folks who can help you in your pursuit of these opportunities and the funding that goes along with them? So the National Fellowships team, there are 5 of us, and we're on the 3rd floor of Decisor, which is on the historic Horseshoe. We are housed within the Honors College, but we serve and welcome all students on campus. So any student is welcome to work with us. We are a free resource on campus. I've had some students ask me if they have to pay to come and work with us, and that's no, absolutely not. So please come and meet with us. We can, you can make an appointment with us through EAB Navigate, just like you'd meet with your academic advisor. We are all cross-trained to be able to advise on a vast array of different fellowships, but we do have some areas of specialization. So Jen Best is our Director of National Fellowships. She works with nominated awards that require a campus nomination process, such as the Truman Scholarship, and she also works with awards to study in the UK after graduation, things like the Gates Cambridge and the Rhodes Scholarship. Chastity Graham works with STEM fellowships and STEM awards. So if you are a STEM major and you're looking for those opportunities, Chastity is definitely the person to talk to. Heidi Bretz works with international fellowships. So if you're looking to study abroad or learn a language or have any kind of an international experience, both during your undergrad or after you graduate, Heidi is definitely the person to talk to about that. Once again, I'm Valerie, and I work with first and second year students a lot, and I really love helping students get started with their fellowship journeys, figuring out the different types of skills that you need to apply and the different steps of the application process, and to start that exploration. And then I just advise on a broad variety of different fellowships. And then on the very other end of the spectrum, Matt Klopfenstein is our Assistant Director of Fellowships. He's over in Close Hip, actually, not that we don't like him, but because that's where the graduate resource hub is located, and Matt works with grad students and students who are looking for grad school funding. So if you're a senior, think about grad school, definitely talk to Matt. So we can assist with all kinds of things with national fellowships, from initial exploration to fine-tuning your application and providing feedback. But we are not the only folks on this campus who can help you. We also have our fellowship peer mentors and ambassadors, and these are students who have earned national fellowships in a variety of areas and disciplines, and they have volunteered their time to share their experiences with other folks who would like to apply. We have our Coffee with a Peer Mentor program, which I'll talk a little bit more about at the end. We are really fortunate to have two of our fellowship peer mentors and ambassadors here today, and I will allow them to introduce themselves. So Katerina, if you wouldn't mind sharing a little bit more about yourself and the fellowship that you earned.
All right, I'm Katerina. I'm a junior biomedical engineering major and chemistry minor. My pronouns are she, her, and I earned the Mayo Clinic SURF Fellowship, meaning that I got to perform biomedical research at Mayo Clinic over the summer.
Thank you. We also have Alexis. You can go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Alexis. I'm a biology major with minors in psychology and medical humanities. I'm a junior this year, and this past summer I was in Germany, Berlin specifically, doing research through DAAD RISE. So they sponsored me to go over for 10 weeks, and I was doing cognitive psychology research.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. So when I cover the different fellowships that our peer mentors and ambassadors earned, they will take the floor and share about their experiences so that you can get a glimpse into what it is like to experience a fellowship. And we're really glad to have them here. So thank you so much for being here. We'll keep moving on. All right. So next, these are the different opportunities that we're going to cover today. And there are some summer opportunities for STEM majors and then summer opportunities for a variety of majors. We understand that you students are very, very busy, and a lot of you have majors where it's very difficult to take a semester off or to be doing something beyond the classroom during the academic year and the fall and spring semesters. So that's why summer opportunities are a great chance for you to be able to have beyond the classroom experiences and really dig into the types of things that you would like to explore more within your major or just more within yourself personally, but don't necessarily have time to during the academic year. So we're going to cover all of these. And then along the way, like I said, our fellowship peer mentors will contribute their experiences from their particular fellowships. And if you do have questions, please ask. But yeah, we're going to cover a lot of ground tonight, and yeah, hopefully something is mentioned tonight that really sparks your interest and will encourage you to apply. So we're going to start with NSF REUs, and you'll find with fellowships that we do love our acronyms, and I will spell them out as much as I can. So these stand for National Science Foundation Research Experiences for Undergrads. So these are summer research opportunities across the U.S. at different universities. They're hosted by different university partners. So they're all funded by the National Science Foundation, but every university program runs its own summer experience. These are fully funded. So your travel, your room and board for the summer, and a stipend, so you're getting paid for your research, that is all part of this award. And these are usually about 10 weeks. You can go on the National Science Foundation website, and we do have the links to all of these because I will share these slides with everyone who registered for the session tonight. And you can go and take a look at that. And with on that website, you can search by your field of study or location. There are research opportunities in a variety of STEM fields, some of the social sciences, and some really interesting ethics programs as well. So definitely take a look at that if you're interested in summer research. Since these programs are at so many different universities and there are so many of them, there aren't like a series of standard due dates across the board. You would just need to check into each one that you're interested in, and read like what kinds of students they're looking for, whether they want beginning researchers or more experienced researchers. It just kind of varies. We recommend you keep a spreadsheet of applications because you can apply to a lot of these. Some students apply to 10 or more. Of course, you don't have to if you don't want to. We'll never force you to apply for anything that you don't want to, but it can help since there's a lot of different due dates and requirements for these because they are so varied. Keeping a spreadsheet can help you keep track. So this is good for any STEM field. Like I said, the social sciences, if you're interested in like ethics studies in any year. And of course, the deadlines vary by site, but typically January is when we start to see a lot of these have their due dates. And I know that Katerina, you did not do specifically a National Science Foundation research experience for undergrads, but the program that you did with the Mayo Clinic was a summer undergraduate research fellowship. That's why it's SURF. That's another wonderful acronym. So would you mind talking a little bit about what you experienced in your research program and what all happened there?
Definitely. So my research specifically was focused on treating Alzheimer's disease, but like what the research lab I was in really focused on was using extracellular vesicles to transfect iPSC-derived neurons with mRNA strands in order to get them to produce a specific protein. And thankfully, I was able to actually get the neurons to express the protein that was desired. But I would say that like I really I loved the research that I did at Mayo Clinic. The team that I was working with was great, and they really introduced me to every single one of the procedures, and they really guided me through that. So if I had any questions anytime during a process or procedure, I could just ask someone there and they would definitely provide input. I would say that as a result, I gained a lot of research skills, such as like using Western blots and working with iPSC derived neurons and iPSCs in general. I also got to work with nucleic acids. And all of this is very relevant to me because I want to eventually go into tissue engineering and regenerative sciences. So I would say that being able to perform research, actually at one of the top biomedical research institutes in the country, that really helps me a lot. And it made me more familiar with laboratory procedures that actually go on in biomedical research settings.
Thank you so much. And I just want to ask a little follow-up question. What all did your application entail? What kind of materials did you have to submit in order to apply?
Okay, so I had to submit, I believe, two letters of recommendation from my mentors, a transcript. I also had to submit different short essay responses that were part of the application itself. I provided my GPA, as well as a resume. So it's like the application for Mayo Clinic Surf, it's very similar, I would say, like in structure to like many of the other research program applications out there. So it's like, it's pretty, I would say like for these like opportunities, it's a pretty standard process for the most part.
Thank you. Yes, absolutely. So with these REUs or other summer research programs, again, it's not going to be exactly the same across the board, but there will be some commonalities such as, your transcript, letters of recommendation, some sort of a personal statement or a statement of intent about why you want to be part of this program, and a few more short essay questions about that. So, and also just wonderful opportunities to clarify what kind of research you might want to be doing, where you want to take your research career by having these hands-on experiences, and then also just meeting people from across the country and different opportunities there. I did see a question in the chat. So there will be a couple that graduate students can apply for, such as like the Boren and the Critical Language Scholarship, but most of these are geared toward undergraduates. So I apologize if that was not clear, but there will be a few that are applicable for graduate students. But if you would rather not stick around for that, I totally understand. Thank you for asking that question and clarifying. So we will continue moving on here. So thank you, Katerina. And yes, NSF REUs, fantastic opportunities there. The next one we're going to talk about is the DAAD RISE program. And this is a summer research program in Germany for sophomores or juniors. Now, this is research in Germany with a German PhD student, but you are not required to know or speak German in order to apply. You can apply for up to 3 internship sites. So they have an internship database that is made available when it's time to apply. You look through the database and decide which projects you'd like to apply to. So it is a paid opportunity. You're paid for research plus funding for travel. There are different start dates for the programs, and the internship database is open now. So it opened mid-October, and the applications are due November 30th. We've had a lot of folks really excited about this opportunity this year. So we have added a special workshop just about DAAD RISE, actually tomorrow at 4 p.m. in Harper 320. So Chastity Graham, who is our STEM coordinator, is going to lead that. I believe that Alexis will be guest starring there, but you can get a little bit of a preview of that. Alexis, take it away. Tell us all about DAAD RISE and your experience there.
Of course. So I love DAAD RISE. It was just this past summer. For me, I was in Berlin, so it was a very big city environment, but I do want to say that like DAAD RISE has so many projects available for everyone. So there were kids all over Germany, small towns. I had one girl that was living on a boat and like swimming with sea lions every day. So they have projects for everyone. It's not always like the traditional research environment, like what Katerina was doing. I think of like labs like that when I think of research, and DAAD RISE is like environmental studies and stuff where you're kind of like out in like the field and different things like that appeal to more majors, I think, than just like the traditional like chemistry bio. So like I said, I was doing psychology research, so I got to interact with participants and do eye tracking technique, which is you put something on their head, and I didn't have to do any German for that. Everyone there speaks perfect English. It's very impressive. I was hoping to even like pick up some German, and literally no one used German around me ever. So I would say that was great. And DAAD RISE also really pushes immersing yourself in the culture. So they would give me 3-day weekends like all the time, and they were like, go see other places in Germany or like embrace Berlin. So I got to go to 6 other countries while I was there this summer. So I really enjoyed that aspect of it. I felt like I was like living abroad and really appreciating Europe while I was there as well. Oh, do you want me to talk about the application process too? I think the DAAD RISE is one of the easier application processes of the National Fellowships. It was just a cover letter for each project that you apply to, and you can only apply to 3. So I just wrote 3 different cover letters that are kind of a combination of like a personal statement and then like a letter of intent. And then just one recommendation, your resume, and a list of courses that you've taken. So very straightforward.
Yes, thank you very much. Sorry, I couldn't like find my mouse to be able to unmute myself, but thank you for taking that over. And my follow-up question for you is, did you meet other DAAD Rise scholars while you were there? And are you still in touch with any of the students who participated?
Yes, so I was lucky because I was in Berlin, which is the capital, and so we had like 12 students that were stationed in Berlin. So we had like a group chat and we would meet up sometimes. And then DAD Rise does send you to a conference in another city in Germany that is gorgeous, Heidelberg, and we all got to meet up. So there were like 200 or 500 students, some large number of students that were in Heidelberg. And so I got to meet them. And then some of them would like meet up on the weekends and go to other countries together. So there's still like a community, even though you might, or no one works with another student for the most part.
Thank you. Yes, I mean, sometimes it can seem intimidating to go abroad for that long of a time, to be doing research abroad, a place you've never been before, especially if you've not been out of the country before. But a lot of these programs that do send students abroad really emphasize community and making sure that it's not like, oh, you're just out all by yourself when you're doing these experiences. So a really collaborative community and really fantastic opportunities with DAAD Rise. So if you're able to join us for our workshop tomorrow, that's another opportunity to learn more about what the application process is like and what the program is all about. And again, this is sophomores and juniors. So if that's you, or if you are a first-year student and you're really wanting to do some research, definitely consider this one for the future. So thank you, Alexis. All right, moving on. Another research program, this time more focused on medical fields and medical research interests. These are through the National Institutes of Health, the NIH summer internships. So these are summer internships with the National Institute of Health, mostly in Maryland, but they do have a virtual option, which is for genomics research. So there are quite a few different opportunities with the National Institute of Health. This is a paid internship, but the stipend varies by student level. So you can research on their website, which is really informative, a very informative website about what that would be. So yes, please check out their resources, because depending on the program that you want to apply for, there is a different process for how you do that. And they have a full video on the website with exactly what you need to do depending on where you want to apply to. So if you're interested in these medical, more medicine-based internships and that kind of research, definitely go to the website, take a look at their video. And if you have questions, bring that to an appointment with us, and we're happy to talk through what exactly you would like to apply for. But really, really great, informative website. Students from underrepresented backgrounds in STEM are especially encouraged to apply. And in addition to being able to do the research over the summer, there is a summer poster session for all participants. And I think what we're hearing from Katerina and Alexis is that these opportunities to meet up with other people who are participating in these programs is a really big benefit to participating in these fellowship opportunities in the summer. So once again, NIH offers something similar. Applications are open mid-November, so about now, and the best chance to be accepted to the NIH summer internships comes in applying in the first 2 weeks. The final deadline is March 1st, and these are, it's kind of a rolling acceptance process. So if you are really wanting to capitalize on this opportunity, the earlier that you can submit your application, the better, because they are just looking for folks who are applying earlier for that. So again, that's one that is opening up now. So, and definitely check out that website. The next one is the South Carolina Space Consortium, and these are joint funding options with NASA for research. So if you are in a major, or if you have research interests that really align with NASA's goals and aerospace engineering and things like that, and they have a broad variety of things that they're interested in, the Space Grant Consortium can really help with that kind of funding. Particularly in the summer, they have some summer research internships with NASA, so you can apply to do summer research with NASA and then apply for a South Carolina space grant that can pair with the funding that NASA gives you for the internship to supply additional funding. So you can work with NASA, apply for that internship, and then apply for the South Carolina space grant to be able to supplement that funding for the internship. Another opportunity is the Palmetto Academy Research Award, and this is summer research program at schools in South Carolina. So in the same vein as the National Science Foundation research experiences for undergrads that are all over the country, these ones are specific to kind of NASA's areas of focus and research and just in South Carolina, thus the Palmetto Academy. The programs that you can apply for are still to be determined, and those should become available in December. So definitely check out the website around the 1st of December, and you'll see the different opportunities for sites that you can apply for there with the space grant and the Palmetto Academy. And then finally, the deadline for the Palmetto Academy is going to be late January 2024. So about 2 months of time to apply for that one, but really fantastic opportunities with anything sort of with in the realm of NASA's areas of research and focus. So very cool opportunities there. So I just want to take a second to pause briefly because that is the majority of the STEM awards and the STEM funding. So lots of summer research in a variety of fields and a variety of settings. You can meet people from all over the world and all over the country with these opportunities and can really give you the opportunity to lean into what you want to explore and learn a lot about yourself and what your research interests are. I think both Katerina and Alexis expressed that it was a big learning opportunity, not just through the research itself, but kind of figuring out what you want to do for your future goals and things of that nature. And then also just the networking and connection opportunities are really fantastic with those. So even though it is an experience for the summer, the effects of that experience can really resonate through your future. So definitely look into some of those. So we'll move on now to some opportunities for a variety of majors. The first ones that we're going to talk about here are the Boren Scholarship and the Gilman Scholarship. So the Boren Scholarship is for the study of critical need language, and this is studying that language abroad. And what we mean by critical need language is that it is a language that is critical to U.S. national security and that it's not really commonly taught in the U.S. Boren has several of these on their website that they offer, and you choose your study abroad program. So you choose the program that you want to do, as long as it has a significant language learning component that is in one of the languages that Boren funds. You can apply for Boren to then come in and fund that program. This is through the Department of Defense, by the way. The reason why it's coming up as a summer opportunity is because Boren usually wants to fund students who are looking for a semester or year-long opportunity. But if you're a STEM major, they have a special summer option for STEM majors who want to learn these critical need languages. So if you're wanting to spend 8 to 11 weeks abroad to be learning a critical need language through some sort of a study abroad program, they will provide up to $8,000 for your summer language learning experience. If you are wanting to spend a semester or a year abroad, they can provide up to $25,000 for more than 6 months. So if you're going to be abroad for quite a while, Boren is the way to fund that. When you're writing your application, you do need to mention why you learning this language is somehow related to U.S. national security, but that can be defined very broadly, and that's something that we can help you to figure out as you're writing your application and to brainstorm some ways to connect that. And there is a service requirement with this. So what this means is that if Boren provides funding, then you will work in some capacity for the federal government for at least a year. And if you're not sure about what that means, we actually have a really informational handout that we can share with you about different career opportunities related to the federal government. So it can range from things like cyber policy analyst to an IT specialist to foreign affairs specialists. intelligence specialists and interns. There are a lot of different options. So we can talk with you about what that service requirement will look like. And if you're interested in working for the federal government in any capacity, this is a gateway into that. The Boren Awards have a campus application process. So if you would like to be considered for Boren and get feedback from our faculty committee, that'll help you strengthen your application even further, you need to get that turned in by January 8th, 2024. If you could let us know that you want to apply by December, that would be fantastic. So that's summer language learning or potentially longer term language learning. The Gilman Scholarship is not through the Department of Defense, it's through the Department of State, and this is another internationally focused award. So this is funding for Pell Grant recipients to study abroad or intern abroad in a credit-bearing program. So there's no requirements for length. So Maymesters definitely count for this, or if you want to spend a semester abroad, that counts too. It's up to $5,000. And it is a really fantastic opportunity for if you want to do a Maymester, if you want to have any kind of a summer experience abroad and you're eligible for a Pell Grant, absolutely should definitely apply for Gilman. Since it's through the Department of State, another really great perk of being a Gilman Scholar is that you get non-competitive hiring status in the federal government after you return from Gilman. So if you're interested again in working in the federal government, Department of State, anything like that in any capacity, having that non-compete status is a leg up in terms of being able to apply for those types of jobs. So the deadline for summer programs will be in March. So if you know you want to go abroad in the summer and you are eligible for a Pell Grant, please come and talk with us now. I've had several students making appointments to talk about Gilman and we're really excited about that. So please come and chat. Gilman is a fantastic program. And sometimes you can even apply twice for a program because they have a deadline in March and then a deadline in October. If you time it right, you can have two chances to apply, and that really works out well. So you want to apply for Gilman, please come and talk to us. Speaking of another opportunity abroad, so this is the UK Fulbright Summer Institutes, or the UKSI, as we sometimes call them. These are offered through the Fulbright Commission, and the Fulbright US Student Program is a program that sends people who have earned their bachelor's degree abroad after they've graduated for study, research, or English teaching. But there is a special opportunity here through the UK Commission for first and second year students who do not have a lot of experience outside of the US, or outside of North America, rather, 4 weeks or fewer. So if that's you, definitely think about UK Summer Fulbright. So this is a 3 to 4 week summer program in the United Kingdom, and you can choose one of several location options. So it was an exciting week in the fellowships world because the UK Summer Fulbrights dropped, and we know exactly what they are. So one of the topics is climate and the environment. Another is arts, activism, and social justice. The third is identity and nationhood through the lens of Wales. The fourth is understanding Northern Ireland. Fifth is technology, innovation, and creativity. And the last one, which is new this year, is Scotland's history, kingdom, nation, and people. So if any of those kind of intersectional areas really intrigue you, this is open to students of all different majors, and as long as you're a first or second year student, you're eligible to apply. This covers travel to and from the UK, your tuition for the program. You do take some classes where you get credit for those that can possibly transfer back to USC. Housing is provided. They provide meals. They take you on excursions. They pick you up from the airport. They drop you off. It is like, if you're looking for a first time experience outside of the US, this is it. It's really fantastic for that. And the deadline for this is March of 2024. You'll see here, this is Richie Holmberg. He's one of our fellowship peer mentors, and he participated in this program in Wales. Back when he participated, it was not identity and nationhood. It was more about sustainable agriculture. And Richie is really interested in agriculture and food science. So it was a really great fit for him. But he's one of our fellowship peer mentors, and you can take him out to coffee. So and this is also, since it's for first and second year students, I am the point of contact for this award. So if you're interested in UK Summer Fulbright, please come and talk to me. I would be thrilled to tell you more and help to guide your application process. So really cool opportunities here. All right. The next one is Humanity in Action. And this is a 3-week or slightly more summer program in one of several European countries that is focused on human rights history and activism. There's different programs you can apply for, and each one is very interdisciplinary. You'll have daily lectures and discussions with academics, journalists, politics, and activists. They take you on site visits to government agencies, nonprofit and community organizations, museums, and memorials. And so the program really seeks to highlight different models of action to remedy injustice. So if you are interested in being an agent of change and these different areas of social justice, Humanity in Action is definitely one that you should look into. So these programs bring together cohorts of American and European participants, and you create a shared project to address the area of human rights activism that you would like to focus on, and that is the focus of your cohort. So you work together in the weeks that you are together to come up with your project, and then you implement that project back at your home university in the 11 months that follow. So it really does have some long range goals here. With Humanity in Action, the things that are included are your housing, some of your meals, and the programming. And then a couple of additional meals or spending money that you might need while you're over in Europe will be at the participant's expense. And then travel stipends can be granted to participants with a financial need basis. So then there is a $20 application fee. And this is one of the few fellowships that does have an application fee, because we like to say free money for cool things, because most of these you do not need to pay anything in order to apply. But this fee can be waived, and we can help, we can work with you to help get that waived. And this application will be opening soon. So if you're interested in any type of human rights, social justice, want to spend that time connecting with people in Europe and other Americans, really fantastic program. And Sloan Wilson, who graduated in 2021, was a Humanity in Action scholar in Copenhagen. All right, so again, across the world here is the Critical Language Scholarship, and this is something that you can apply for as an undergrad, and even after you have graduated. As long as you apply while you were still an undergrad, you can participate like the summer after you graduate. So this is an intensive summer language learning program for, again, those critical need languages, and I have these written down here. Yes, so the languages are Korean, Japanese, Indonesian, Chinese, Arabic, Azerbaijani, Russian, Turkish, Persian, Hindi, Urdu, Swahili, and Portuguese. So if any of those appeal to you and you really want to learn them, this is the way to do that over a summer. Some of the language require a few years of study before you are able to participate in CLS, but others accept new language learners, and we can help you negotiate what those are. It's an 8 to 10 week experience in the country where the language is spoken, and it's a blend of in-class instruction, conversation practice, and cultural immersion excursions. You might live with a host family, and then you take a language pledge while you are there to only be speaking in your target language the entire time that you are there. So you're really fully immersed and have the opportunity to really dive into this language. It is fully funded, including the airfare. They have all of the programming planned for you. It is credit bearing. And again, just like the Gilman Scholarship, since this is another Department of State initiative, you do have non-compete eligibility for hiring within the federal government upon completion of the program. This application is coming up soon. So if you really want to apply to go this summer, you need to start working on this like 5 minutes ago. But if you just want this to be down the road, please come and talk with us anytime this year or next fall, and we can help you get started with that. And definitely check in on which languages kind of have that prerequisite of how much experience you need. The last thing I'll mention about CLS is that there's also CLS Spark. And these are online language learning intensives for Arabic, Chinese, and Russian. Those are 3 of the languages that have a prerequisite. And so if you are accepted into CLS Spark, you don't need to have any prior experience with that language. It's to help you get that. If you participate, then you are automatically a semifinalist for the overseas program the next time the application comes around. So CLS Spark can be a bridge to getting further in the application for the immersive programs that are overseas. Maeve Smith is one of our fellowship peer mentors, and she was a CLS scholar in Azerbaijan, and she had a fantastic experience. You are more than welcome to ask her out to coffee, and she would be glad to tell you about her experience there in Azerbaijan, but really had a great experience, and the language learning through these is just incredible. Your proficiency does increase quite a bit while you're there. So back home in the US here, there is the AEI Summer Honors Program. So this is not a language learning, not an international focused program. If you're interested in policy or politics or government in any way, AEI can be a great springboard into that. So this is a week-long public policy intensive at the American Enterprise Institute headquarters, which are in Washington, D.C. AEI, or the American Enterprise Institute, is a public policy think tank. So they host week-long classes in a variety of areas and a variety of policy areas all throughout the summer, and you pick which week you would like to go to. You'll experience classes and guest lectures from policy experts. You'll have the opportunity to network with other people who are part of the program. And if you're accepted into the Summer Honors Program, it provides the funding for housing while you're in DC, travel, most of your meals, and you get a $250 stipend for the week. So really great opportunity here to dive into different areas of policy. The application is due in early February for an early decision or in early March. Scotty Green, who is actually in the green blazer, is one of our fellowship ambassadors, and Scotty participated in AEI this past summer. So you are more than welcome to ask Scotty out to coffee, and she'll be happy to tell you about her experiences with AEI, but definitely reach out if you're interested in public policy. And then, all right, so the last one that I will mention for the evening is called the Wrangell Summer Enrichment Program. And so this is for students who are wanting to explore the Foreign Service as a career. If you're not familiar with the Foreign Service, these are folks who formulate and implement foreign policy of the United States around the world. So Foreign Service officers spend most of their careers overseas as members of U.S. embassies, consulates, and other diplomatic missions. So it's a lot of diplomacy and a lot of international experience after you've graduated. So if you're interested in international affairs, in diplomacy, again, in that policy and government sphere, Wrangell Summer Enrichment helps you understand what exactly that all entails. So it is a 6-week fully funded program plus a $3,200 stipend that takes place at Howard University in DC. So you're in DC for the summer, learning about what it means to be in the Foreign Service and international affairs and different international policy topics. It includes 2 courses, a writing seminar, and visits around DC to a bunch of different government and non-government offices. This is for sophomores and juniors, and the application is live. So the deadline for this is in early February. But if you're interested in an international career that has bits of policy and diplomacy, definitely the Wrangell Summer Enrichment could be something to help you solidify whether or not that's for you. The reason why this is the Wrangell Summer Enrichment is because there actually is a fellowship you can apply for when you're getting ready to graduate or even after you graduated called the Wrangell Fellowship. And that pays for graduate school, like a significant sum of money toward graduate school, and provides a pathway into the Foreign Service. So you can do the Wrangell Summer Enrichment and then also apply for the Wrangell Scholarship to pay for grad school and provide that pathway into the Foreign Service. There are 2 others that provide that same pathway. And if you're ever interested in that, please come and talk to us because we can tell you all about it. So this is the last one that I'm going to mention before we kind of open things up for questions and next steps and everything. But I just want to bring this all around to say that the common theme through all of these summer opportunities is that even though it's, the opportunity is confined to a summer, the overarching effects really can resonate through the rest of your college experience and even your life. The types of things that you learn about yourself, the things that you learn through these programs, the connections you make really can resonate through what you plan to do in the future. So these are excellent springboards into that. And I hope that some of these sound interesting and exciting. So if you are interested and excited about any of these opportunities, here are some next steps and some things that we recommend. So for now, engage in your classes, engage in some self-reflection. Think about what you want to do and why. What classes are you really excited to attend? What activities are you involved with on campus or even just in your personal life that are the things that you really look forward to? You can have fellowship experiences that align perfectly with your major. You can have a fellowship experience that aligns not with your major, but just something else in life you're passionate about that you are not majoring in. That's okay. So really dig into your classes and some personal reflection to figure out what's important to you, and that will help guide your decision about what you might want to apply for in terms of fellowships. Definitely review the websites of programs of interest. So like I said, I will share these slides with you so that you can look at that on our National Fellowships website, which I will also link to in the email that I send you to sum up everything. We have a database where you can search through all of these different opportunities. So explore. Figure out what you're interested in, and then start to make some connections with a fellowship peer mentor or a fellowship ambassador who has the experience you would like to get. You can use the National Fellowship website to fill out a form requesting coffee. So if you click on the Fellowship Peer Mentors and Ambassadors page on our website, excuse me, that will allow you to request a coffee chat. And again, we pay for the coffee. So really great opportunity to talk with another student. Then you can make an appointment to talk about your options with a National Fellowship advisor, someone like me or anybody else on the previous slide that I showed you who's on our team. You don't have to talk to an FPM before you talk to us. That's totally fine, whatever order you want to go in, but definitely talk to someone if you're interested in. If you're looking into a summer opportunity for summer 2024, find recommenders to write letters of recommendation before the end of the semester and let them know that you might be asking them to write letters of recommendation. Making connections with faculty, different people who are your advisors that you work with on campus, people who can really speak to your academic abilities and your personal skills, what you bring to a project. These are all folks who can write your letters of recommendation for you, and let them know as early as possible. Plan for drafts and deadlines. So all of these deadlines are available in our database and also on the fellowship websites. So think about, when is this due? Is it due the end of February? When do I want to start drafting my application materials? Remember, we can offer feedback, as much feedback as you want on your application materials. So you're welcome to schedule appointments to meet with us to talk about your application. So plan for that revision process. And then finally, if you decide for sure that you want to apply to something, we have an intent to apply form that can let us know that you really want to apply to something, and we will know that for sure, and we'll follow up with you. And that is part of your candidate profile, which is something you can fill out on our website. So fill out our candidate profile just so we can stay in touch with you. You do not have to apply for a fellowship if you fill out the profile. Nobody's obligated to apply for anything. But within that candidate profile is where you can find the intent to apply form. So we have a couple of minutes left. I do need to wrap things up at 7 because we have another Zoom session that is starting at 7. So we got to make sure that we're not on the account at the same time. But are there any questions that anybody wants to throw in the chat really quickly, or just ask to the group at large? And at this point, I will stop our recording.